The 20th edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit has opened in Abuja today, where it was agreed that for Nigeria to achieve its aim of becoming one of the largest economies in the world by 2020, the country must address the key challenges facing the education sector. The major speakers say there is a challenge of employing 24 million job seekers if within 10 years a better approach is not applied to improve the education sector. This year's summit has education as its focus and is themed Transforming Education Through Partnerships for Global Competitiveness. Our business correspondent, BC Coker, reports.
Technical hitch from the hotel.
This year's summit is coming rather early to give room for the preparation towards the World Economic Forum Africa, which will be hosted by Nigeria in May, and the upcoming general elections holding early next year. The chairman of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, Mr. Felicia Phillips, highlights some of the key areas the summit would focus on, as well as what it aims to achieve.
This summit on education will achieve three things. The first is to draw everyone's attention to the fact that we do have a problem and to understand the nature of that problem. The second is to consider our capacity and ability to effect the necessary changes based on the magnitude of what needs to be done. And the third is to devise a structure that will ensure sustainability of an improving educational system. A recent survey on education and employability estimates that 24 million jobs are needed over the next 10 years to reduce the current unemployment level by half.
The Supervising Minister of Education, Mr. Nyesom Wike, reviews some of the ongoing transformation in the nation's education sector, as well as some of the challenges.
The foreign challenges are the key challenges that keep recurring in the tertiary education. The gap between the extant programs of tertiary institutions and the requirements in the world of work. A plethora academic calendar in tertiary institutions occasioned by industrial strike actions by staff unions. Some tertiary institutions have not been able to fully access the funds allocated to them through TED Fund due to their inability to meet the laden conditionalities. The present disparity in remuneration, placement, and job mobility between polytechnic and university graduates brings a lot of conflict in the job market.
He, however, suggests a possible way forward.
There is need to close the existing gaps between the extant programs of the universities and the requirements in the industry by establishing closer relationships as well as forming synergies and partnerships in addressing the issues involved. The eclectic academic calendar in public tertiary institutions occasioned by industrial action by staff unions needs to be stabilized. The original intention for which post-UTME was set up should be strictly adhered to by all stakeholders. The spirit and ideas of university autonomy as practiced in other climes should be adhered to by all stakeholders. The tertiary institutions should strengthen their capacity to be able to meet up with the conditionalities laid down for accessing funds from TED Fund.
While lauding the NESG for choosing the education sector as the area of focus this year, the Vice President, Namadi Sambo, says the federal government is very much aware of the challenges facing the sector, but adds that all hands are on deck to tackle these challenges.
We are convinced that only through quality teachers can quality in education and students at all levels be assured. We have therefore been paying more attention to the recruitment, training, retraining, and improvement of working conditions of our teachers in the public schools. In this regard, we have established in the first instance 125 primary schools in the northern and southwestern part of the country under the Almajiri system to increase access to quality education to over 9 million out-of-school children in Nigeria. We have launched the Basic Education Campaign that targets the high number of out-of-school children in the southeast and south-south zone of the country.
All said and done, the Minister for National Planning set the ball rolling for the presidential policy dialogue, which dwelt on the challenges and gaps in the education sector and the way forward. BC Coker, Channels Television News.
Your Excellency.